We can add decimal numbers, so here we have 3.2 plus 2.6. So notice how I've set out my addition, with my units lined up, my decimal points lined up, and my tenths lined up. And over here I've drawn what we're adding. So 3.2 is 3 wholes and 2 tenths, and 2.6 is 2 wholes and 6 tenths of another. Now when we're adding decimals, the first thing to do is put a decimal point in our answer and make sure that it's lined up with the other decimal points. Then with column addition, we need to remember to always start with the smallest place value. So here we have 2 tenths plus 6 tenths. That gives us 8 tenths, and we can see here that if we push our tenths into the same rectangle, we have a rectangle with 8 tenths, and then we can just ignore the rectangle with nothing in it. So let's write 8 in our tenths answer box. Now onto our units, we have 3 plus 2, which gives us 5. So our answer is 5.8. We have 5 whole rectangles and 8 tenths of another rectangle. Now we have 3.7, so 3 units and 7 tenths, plus 2.5, so 2 units and 5 tenths. As always, let's start by writing the decimal point in our answer so that we don't forget it. Now we have 7 tenths plus 5 tenths. This gives us 12 tenths. But 12 tenths is the same as 1 and 2 tenths, because we can see that if we move these 5 tenths up, we have a whole full rectangle and then 2 tenths of another one. Now because we've made 1 unit by adding tenths, we can write a 1 under our units column, then our 2 remaining tenths can go in our answer line. Now adding our units, we have 3 plus 2 plus the 1 that we made from adding our tenths. So we have 6 units altogether. So our answer is 6.2. And this makes sense because we have 6 whole rectangles and 2 tenths of another rectangle. So now pause the video and see if you can answer 2.8 plus 2.7. Well, we need to remember to write the decimal point in our answer line. And now we have 8 tenths plus 7 tenths. This gives us 15 tenths, which we can see is the same as 1 whole and 5 tenths. So because we made 1 whole by adding our tenths, we write 1 under our units column and 5 in our tenths column. Now onto our units, we have 2 plus 2 plus 1, so that's 5 units altogether, giving us an answer of 5.5. Now here we have larger numbers, but we do exactly the same thing. We start by writing the decimal point in our answer. Now 9 plus 6 is 15, so we've made 1 unit and 5 tenths. Now onto our units column, 9 plus 2 plus 1 is 12, so we've made 1 10 and we have 2 units. And finally 2 plus 1 is 4, so our answer is 42.5. Now pause the video and see if you can answer this question. So there's our decimal point. 7 plus 3 is 10, so that's 1 below our units and 0 in our answer. 1 plus 8 plus 1 is 10, so there's our 1, there's our 0. 5 plus 2 plus 1 is 8, So there's our answer, 80.0, or exactly 80, because all the 0.0 tells us is that we don't have any tenths. So notice that sometimes when you're adding decimal numbers, you can still get a whole number as your answer.